Welcome to the Know, I'm Mica. After Square Enix's leak of Shadow of the Tomb Raider yesterday, we finally got the actual announcement today. The publisher debuted a brief teaser trailer of Lara Croft's next adventure, showing off some sneaking, running, climbing, and a hint of a Central American locale. It seems that a full reveal for the game will be coming in April, with the actual release date happening September 14th, which was part of yesterday's accidental leak. Interestingly enough, it seems Shadow of the Tomb Raider won't be suffering from timed exclusivity this time around, as the teaser trailer points to a simultaneous release on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Nintendo's got more LABO concepts for us to look at. This time, they're digging in more to the functionality of the game's Toy-Con Garage mode, which allows people to basically program their own games. According to Nintendo, all of this is achieved through a very simple input and output system. Do something and then something happens. For instance, you can set the screen to light up when you push buttons, or you can set the Joy-Cons to vibrate when you touch the screen. This functionality can be used for more complex functions, and then paired with your own papercraft creations to make brand new toys. Toy-Con Garage will be available inside of every piece of LABO software, giving you the opportunity to create it as you see fit. LABO releases officially on April 20th, 2018. The Witcher's Geralt is officially coming to Soul Calibur 6, everyone. Geralt of Rivia's appearance in the game was confirmed this morning by CD Projekt Red and Bandai Namco, following a couple of weeks of teases by the two. The company says Geralt will take on opponents with a combination of swordplay and ability-enhancing potions and combat magic. CD Projekt Red community lead Marcin Mamont added, "I think Bandai Namco did an outstanding job of capturing all the details and introducing The Witcher to Soul Calibur in a way fans of both series will enjoy." And hey, you can watch some of the newly released footage and judge for yourself. As for the game, Soul Calibur 6 still doesn't have a release date at the moment. We know it's just gonna be out this year. We've got a release date for the upcoming racing game The Crew 2. You might remember that it was supposed to hit retailers earlier this year and got delayed. And in a new video showing off some sweet racing footage, Ubisoft says the game will release on June 29th for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. And those who pre-order the Gold or Deluxe versions will get to play it 3 days early. The game, like its predecessor, will feature open-world racing with a variety of vehicles and locales. According to the game's website, you'll be able to drive around major US cities like San Francisco, LA, New York, Las Vegas, Detroit, and Miami. E3 isn't the only upcoming show where Microsoft plans on making a splash. Apparently, they're also bringing out the big guns to GDC next week, showcasing a lot of indie ID at Xbox titles. Okay, so more like the little guns. But the company revealed on the Xbox blog that they'd be bringing 50 ID at Xbox games to GDC, and on top of that, 17 of the games are newly announced for the first time. The list of those games is too long to get here into the roundup, but there are definitely some unique and interesting concepts on display. We're sure to hear more all about those games over the next week or so. We've got a proper new name for the much anticipated new game from the publisher of Stardew Valley. The Magic School RPG that was previously known as Project Spellbound has officially been named WITCHBROOK, after Chucklefish CEO Finn Bryce announced it on Twitter. Adorable name, in my opinion. His tweet also included the game's logo over a screenshot. We don't know a ton about the game yet, but it definitely has a Harry Potter-ish vibe as you play as a student attending a magic school. No release date for WITCHBROOK yet, but Chucklefish has said that it's still a ways off, which hurts me in more ways than I can describe. Reviews are coming in for Yakuza 6, and so far they're looking pretty positive. The game currently has an 83 on Metacritic and an 84 on OpenCritic, with critics calling it another good entry in the franchise. This game picks up immediately after Yakuza 5 left off as you continue to follow the exploits of Yakuza member Kiryu Kazuma. US Gamer says that Yakuza 6, which wraps up Kazuma's storyline, was a great game, but that it's not as well-rounded or fully featured as the prequel Yakuza 0. DualShockers wrote, despite the few shortcomings, Yakuza 6 is a worthy successor for the franchise and an absolutely fantastic experience that will keep most enthralled from the beginning to the end, with a whole lot of extremely welcome detours due to the wealth of side stories and additional content. While it's already out in Japan, the game releases for the rest of the world on April 16th for PlayStation 4 players. It is no secret that the upcoming Deadpool sequel will add new characters Cable and Domino to the mix, and apparently, audiences liked the pair so much in test screenings that they're adding more of them to the movie. The movie underwent a few reshoots, but contrary to earlier reports that they were needed because of a bad audience reaction, the reality is that audiences really liked Cable and Domino and wanted to see more of them, so 20th Century Fox obliged. Collider wrote, according to our sources, Deadpool 2 did not test poorly and reshoots were not ordered to fix the movie. They're simply adding more scenes of the two new characters given how well test audiences responded to them in the first place. The movie hits theaters May 18th. EVE players are gathering to pay tribute to cosmologist Stephen Hawking. Following Hawking's death earlier this week, EVE Online pilots started organizing an attempt to honor the man in-game. They've been doing that by lighting up sinusoidal beacons, which send out very bright lights that are used for ships to jump to new destinations. The beacons are now appearing all over the game as players light them up in honor of Hawking. The player who started organizing the tribute wrote on the game's subreddit, "Spend a little ozone for one of the brightest minds humanity has ever had." That is super sweet. In a story straight out of the pages of science fiction, it looks like astronaut Scott Kelly, the man who spent a year in space, had his genetic makeup changed by the process. According to a NASA study, Kelly is no longer identical to his twin brother Mark, with 7% of his DNA changing after his time in orbit. The genes that did not return to normal after Scott's return to the surface are now being referred to as space genes and will take some additional study, especially as we, prepare to send humans to Mars long term. Kelly said on his Twitter that because of this, he doesn't have to call Mark his twin brother anymore, so yay science, but aren't we all terrified that we can all turn into zombie aliens? I'm scared about that. Fortnite hit new heights last night when none other than Drake teamed up with popular streamer Ninja to play some duos, and as you might imagine, the internet lost its freaking mind. The unlikely partnership set records on Twitch, reaching more than 600,000 concurrent viewers, which blew away the previous record of 400,000 for an individual stream. And during the downtime, Ninja and Drake even chatted about things like their favorite pizza toppings and why Fortnite has gotten so popular. Drake revealed that he's a fan of pineapple on his pizza and said that he thinks Fortnite has done a good job handling the demand compared to other Battle Royale games. Not everyone was a fan though. Fellow rapper Post Malone tweeted, "PUBG is still better." Well, it sounds like he was just bitter he didn't get invited to the game, and it sounds like they need to sell this one in-game. But which one, PUBG or Fortnite? I think both. Meanwhile, if you want to see more celebs playing Fortnite, Epic just announced something called Party Royale, a 100-person tournament that teams up celebrities and pro gamers that will happen at E3 in June. So there's more where that came from. That's all the news we have for you today. Remember to comment on any of your favorite news stories in the comments below. And for more news like this from every corner of the internet, like this video. And if you're new around here, subscribe to the Now. E3 isn't the only upcoming show where Microsoft plans on making a splash. Apparently, they're also bringing out the big guns to GDC next week, showcasing a lot of ID at Xbox. Jesus Christ. Apparently, they're also bringing out the big guns to GDC next week, showcasing a lot of indie ID at